So you've decided to take the leap into full-time travel. Maybe you're working remotely, living that digital nomad life, or just bouncing from place to place inside the US. Sounds pretty exciting, right? But then reality hits. You start wondering, what happens if I get sick in a different state? What if I crash my rental car? What if I lose my gear, or worse, have to be flown home in an emergency? If any of that's crossed your mind, then you're not alone. Insurance might not be the most thrilling part of the travel lifestyle, but it's definitely one of the most important. So in this video, we're breaking down what you really need to know about insurance as a digital nomad living or traveling in the US. We'll cover health insurance, travel insurance, what the differences are, and which companies are actually worth considering. I'll also share some real-world stories, pros and cons of different plans, and tips to help you avoid overpaying or being undercovered. So let's get into it. Why insurance is so tricky for digital nomads. If you're used to getting health insurance through a full-time job, then being on your own might feel a bit like stepping off of a cliff. There's no HR department handing you a benefits package. You have to figure everything out yourself. And unlike a vacationer with a set return date, digital nomads don't always have a home base. You might be hopping between Airbnbs, working out of coffee shops, or spending a few weeks with friends in different cities. That kind of lifestyle throws a wrench in the typical insurance model. You need a plan that moves with you, one that doesn't freak out if you change your zip code every other month. And you don't want to be calling 5 different customer service lines just to ask, wait, am I still covered here? Health insurance versus travel insurance. What's the difference? Now let's clear up some common confusion right off the bat. Health insurance and travel insurance are not the same thing. They can overlap a little, but they serve different purposes. Health insurance covers things like doctor visits, prescription medications, hospitalizations, emergency room visits, preventative care. Think of it as the foundation, the day-to-day and the big just-in-case moments. Travel insurance, on the other hand, is more about trip cancellations or interruptions, lost or delayed luggage, stolen personal items, emergency medical evacuations, sometimes. It's more like a safety net for the travel experience than your actual health. And here's the kicker. Many people end up buying both without realizing that they're paying for the same emergency evacuation benefits twice. That's money you could be saving. So before you sign up for any travel insurance plan, double check what your health insurance already includes. If it covers evacuation and repatriation, then you might not need both. What about travel insurance? A quick note on travel insurance. Great for trip delays, stolen gear, or flight cancellations. But don't count on it to cover your medical bills. Some of the plans, like World Nomads or SafetyWing, include emergency care or evacuation. But again, be careful not to pay for the same benefit twice. If your health plan already includes evacuation or international coverage, skip that part of the travel insurance and just focus on the parts that you actually need, like protecting your gear. What should a good nomad insurance plan include? All right, let's get practical here. If you're living the nomadic life, even if it's just across different US cities, here's what to look for in a health or travel insurance plan. Number 1, nationwide or global coverage. Plans tied to a single state network are not ideal. You'll want a provider that gives you access to care no matter where you are. Whether you're in Seattle, Austin, or visiting family in Miami, you don't want to be out of network. That's why providers like State Farm can be really helpful. They've got a massive network and have been around long enough to build solid relationships with providers across the country. That kind of stability goes a long way when you're on the road. 2, virtual care options. Getting sick in the middle of nowhere, you'll be thankful for telehealth. Plans that include virtual doctor visits are perfect for digital nomads. No waiting rooms, no hassle, and prescriptions can be sent straight to a local pharmacy. Companies like Lemonade do a great job here. They're built for a digital-first experience. You can file claims through an app, talk to reps quickly, and handle most stuff from your phone, which is kind of ideal when your office is a laptop in a coffee shop. 3, emergency evacuation coverage. Nobody wants to think about worst case scenarios, but if something major happens and you need to be airlifted to a different hospital or even flown back home, this part of your insurance is what saves your bank account from being wrecked. This kind of transport can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Without coverage, that debt can stick with you for years. So make sure it's part of your plan. And again, avoid paying for it twice if it's already included in your health coverage. A quick story that puts things into perspective. So a friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, was working remotely in Europe for a few months. She had a pre-existing condition, asthma, but figured she'd be fine. Turns out she forgot her inhaler and started having trouble breathing in Paris, which is not ideal. Thankfully, her insurance plan let her call a doctor virtually, get a prescription in under an hour, and pick it up at a local pharmacy. That could have easily turned into a hospital trip, or worse if she didn't have coverage. Now imagine that's you, except you're in a small town or somewhere unfamiliar. That's why having something in place is more than just a checkbox. It's peace of mind. A few plan types that you should know about. Let's go over a few options, and I'll keep it simple. Short-term health insurance. This is good for temporary coverage while you figure out a longer-term plan. It might not cover everything, but it can be cheaper. Marketplace plans via healthcare.gov. If your income is low or variable, then you might qualify for subsidies. You choose based on your home state, but check for national networks. Expat insurance plans. These are great if you spend a chunk of your year abroad. You can even include US coverage part-time if you'd like. Digital first plans like Lemonade. Super convenient. And they're great for people who are always on the move and prefer to manage everything from their phone. Classic provider networks, like State Farm. They're everywhere. You can actually talk to a real person if something goes wrong, which some people still really appreciate. When insurance isn't worth it, and when it definitely is. You'll meet people, especially in their 20s, who say, I'm healthy, I don't need insurance. And maybe they'll be fine. But I've heard stories of folks who needed major surgery or emergency flights home and ended up with $50,000 in debt, all because they skipped the $100 per month insurance. So ask yourself this: can I afford not to have it? Even a basic plan gives you some protection, and peace of mind is worth something, especially when you're already juggling travel logistics, deadlines, and time zones. How to find the right plan. So you've got a few options here. You can talk to an insurance broker. Check the healthcare marketplace during open enrollment. Look at companies that work well with digital nomads, like Lemonade, SafetyWing, Cigna, and State Farm. Or take our free survey by using the link below, and we'll help match you with a good fit based on your lifestyle and where you're traveling. Seriously, it only takes a few minutes, and it might save you hours of research and hundreds of dollars. Now, what about the cost? So let's talk money for a second. Because insurance costs can feel high, especially if you're comparing it to just paying out of pocket in a country where healthcare is cheaper. In the US, the opposite is true. A single ER visit can cost more than your entire annual premium in some cases. If you're bouncing around in other countries part of the year, some digital nomads opt for expat insurance. It often includes optional US coverage for part of the year, which is great if you return home for the holidays or to visit family. Plans like Cigna, Global, or Blue Cross Blue Shield Global offer expat plans, and you can go through brokers to find the right fit. But honestly, if you're staying mostly within the US or you want something more modern, then companies like Lemonade, especially for renters or bundling, or State Farm with their agent network, can be more flexible and still affordable. So at the end of the day, insurance is just one of those things that you hope you never need. But when you do, it can literally be life-changing. As a digital nomad, you've already chosen a life that's flexible, adventurous, and free. But freedom comes with a bit of risk, and good insurance is just one way to protect the life that you're building. If you're still not sure where to start, check out the links down in the description. You'll find options for Lemonade, State Farm, and our personalized insurance survey to help you pick the best fit. And if you got value from this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Insurance Wise for more tips just like this. Now, one note on the links down in the description: these are affiliate links, which means we earn a small commission when you use them at no extra cost to you. And your support through these links helps keep our channel going and allows us to continue to create free content just like this. So if you end up using it, we thank you so much in advance. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you here in the next video.